Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It is morning at the Space Center. I fast forwarded a little bit through time. As you can see, people are arriving for work. As the lights are on, I'm not at work yet because I don't get up this early. But here we are. Let's look at the contracts. This is all we have right now. We did get through a couple of them last time. Well, one, I believe. We sent our first tourist to space and brought him back safely. Tito's back partying, telling everybody about his great adventure. Today, we do have this to explore the moon again. They want us to go to the moon and stay there in a nice orbit. But I think we're going to do these two today on one mission. We need to test the KW Rocketry Maverick 1D. This is a liquid fuel engine that has two nozzles as the exhaust, and then we need to bring up a solid rocket booster up to this altitude, 360,000 meters, and fire it there. That'll be challenging. So let's get to these. Let's go to the vehicle assembly building, and build our next rocket. Okay, it will be a manned mission, I'm thinking. So let's start with the command pod. And I've thought about this some. Let's bring up the contracts. So we need to test the KW Rocketry at the higher altitude. This part is this, I believe. Yes. So it is a liquid fuel engine. That's the last thing we're going to test because it'll be at 560,000 meters. First test is going to be at 360. So we need something to test this with. First of all, let's put a heat shield on this. Not that one. Something that will actually let us come back. Okay, and then a parachute. It's probably all we need to come back. Within a decoupler. Oh, we got new ones, it looks like. Big ones. What is this? I mean, what's the difference? Except this one weighs more. Huh. I don't know. And we need a little bit of fuel here with the motor. How much? How much is this? 200. Oh, that's monopropellant. Let's see. 50. Do we need 110? We might. Let's, nah, we don't need that much. Oh, that's a big one. Okay. Where's the... Here we go. 50? That should be enough to deorbit, right? Should be. Or 100. You know what? Always prepare. Always expect the unexpected. Let's go with 110 liquid fuel some oxidizer. And let's put that Maverick engine on here. Alright, this part will be the final test here. Maverick D1. And we're going to test it. We're going to activate it and use it to deorbit. So this is what's coming, well, after we take off, not the heat shield, the stack decoupler. Okay, let's put another decoupler on here. So what's next? We need a stage to get us from, well, into orbit, and then from up to 360,000 and then up to 560,000 meters. So, okay, we got our decoupler on here. So we're going to need some fuel tanks. Let's go with these. How many? 2? I like 2. Yeah, 2 should be enough. And then we'll need an efficient engine. One that's efficient in vacuum. That would be the Terrier. And then this stage, all this right here, this part of the rocket, will be doing our 2 tests. Okay, so this is going to get us up to 360,000 meters, where we will test the SRBs, which we will mount here, I believe. And which ones are they? SpaceY 05S. SpaceY 05S, I believe that's the one. SpaceY 05S. Hopefully these aren't huge. No, they're not. Okay. Alright, there's our test platform right there. This part of the vehicle will be doing both of our tests. Now, we need something to get it up into lower, well, at least out of the atmosphere. So again, this part is going to get us, help us get into orbit, probably, and then change our altitudes. Alright, so we need another decoupler. And some fuel to get us up out of the atmosphere. Let's use these. I like these tanks. Alright, probably need several. A lot more than that, though. How much delta V do we have total? 3379. Well, we don't have an engine on here yet. Let's put it on the swivel. All right. 4698. That should be enough, I would think. Well, we don't want any in these. We're not going to test. I forgot, these don't need any fuel. We just need to activate them. So, no fuel there. We have 848 delta V here. Hold on a sec. So I have 1500 here, 1800 here. I'm just not convinced that's enough. Well, not 1800 it isn't. This may be too much here. These 2 tanks, but I'm going to take it anyway. Should I use solid boosters? No. Let's do something different. Let's use liquid fuel. Here as well. then a couple of Reliance. Whatever can get us a lot of thrust at sea level. It's 205. The Maverick actually is pretty good at sea level. Maybe. These are 2,200 each. Ouch. I think I'll stick with these. I think these will be fine. 205. How does this little sparkler... Is that right? Thrust at sea level? Oh, it's 7.3. Okay. I thought it said 7,300. I was like, no, that can't be right. Okay, let's stay with the Reliance. And then... put an aerodynamic cone. I think this is what we're going to do. We need a couple things. 3 things here. Do we have struts yet? I think we do. We do. Need struts down here to keep that stable. And winglets. 4 of those. Ah, come on. Okay, that looks right. And... do we have fuel lines yet? To be with the engines, right? Or the fuel tanks. There we go. Fuel ducts. What these do is allow me to pump fuel from these external tanks, or wherever, from one tank to another. And what I want to do is I want to pump fuel from the externals to the interior tank. That way, these exterior tanks will go through their fuel first. And as they burn fuel, they'll pump fuel. As this center tank burns fuel, the exteriors will pump fuel into here. So when these burn out and are empty and they fall away after we decouple them, the center tank should be mostly full still. What else do we need? There's one. Oh, we need probably an antenna for communication. Where do I want to put said antenna? I guess here. And then rotate it. I just need one though. Can we rotate this? Ah. There we go. Kind of. Right there. That's pretty aerodynamic, huh? Look at that. Alright, I could if I wanted to. Oops. That's not what I want to do. I could rotate the tool a little bit, or rotate the part like that. Okay, I think that's good. What am I missing? Let's check staging, I guess. We want these 3 engines firing at once. And then we're going to decouple those. And then decouple that when the center stage, when the first stage burns out. No, we don't want to ignite those yet. We want to ignite that one. Let's create, and then put these here. Okay. Decouple, decouple, ignite engine, the Terrier, decouple Terrier, and then we're going to test these. Once we get up to height, altitude, decouple them, decouple here, turn on the other engine, the Maverick D, and decouple that, and then parachute down. I think that's it. How much does this rocket cost? Does it tell me somewhere? I thought it did. Got 45 parts, 48 tons. Electric charge required but not generated. Okay, so we need a battery somewhere on this. You know what I'm gonna do? Do we have? This is too. No, that's not too big. What else we got? We got these, but these packs are a little less aerodynamic. Let's put this on. There we go. That gives us battery. Parachute issues. What are the issues? No parachutes attached. Isn't this a parachute? We did find a parachute in the same separation stage, but make sure it is attached correctly. So the battery can't be attached there? Huh. Really? Well, let's see if I can attach a battery here. Electricity charge required but not generated. I could put, I guess, panels on here. How's that? I wonder if I could, I still want to use this battery if I can. Yeah, it just doesn't like that, apparently. Make sure it's attached properly. I would think that should work. I wonder if I could hide the battery in here. Oops. Come on. Sometimes you can do that, and sometimes not. Like now. Alright, I guess we'll mess with this thing. Let's put these here. 2 of them. And these panels here. Alright, we'll see. These may get ripped off during re-entry, but by then we won't need them. Alright. I'm thinking this is the one. Alright, let's take it out. Make sure we got Jebediah in there. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go get this mission underway. Actually, 2 contracts here that we want to take care of. This should be interesting. So here's the mission plan. We put this thing in orbit with this bottom stage. When we separate, this part will go up to 360,000 meters, and we will test these. We'll decouple them, and then we'll get up to 560,000 meters and activate the Maverick and get us back home. So let's take it out and get this taken care of. You know, there is one thing I forgot. So we're going to go back real quick. Rocket this heavy. We might stick to the pad. So I want to put on some launch clamps. Okay. Just a few launch clamps. Where are they? I know I have them. Here we go. No, 2. I want 2. There we go. And let's go. Okay, is everybody ready for this early morning launch? Let's check staging. Oh, we need to put these down here, or else we'll never get off the pad. Okay, so these 2 will fire, the launch camps will let us go, and then we will decouple here, start the Terrier. Let's make sure those have no fuel. And decouple them. Decouple here. Burn that engine to get home. Decouple. Parachute down. Okay. We have stability control activated and full thrust. I think we're going to need it. Let's go. Alright, I'll probably start turning here in a bit. I'm going to get some height, some altitude first. Alright, let's start. So let's check this tank. See, these are almost out, and the middle tank still has full fuel. Okay, these about ready to separate. Excellent separation. Very nice. And we still got most of the tank to get up into orbit. What I'm going to do is, since I have to get up to 360,000, I'm just going to burn this sucker, this stage, at this angle until I can get up pretty high. I'm gonna reach for maybe 100,000 if I can get up there. Let's see what happens. But I should be able to get close to 100,000 meters, 10 miles. Sorry, 100 miles. Where are we? Okay, we're about coming up on half a tank remaining. Looking really good. I don't think we're going to reach 100,000 with this stage. We'll see. We'll get probably 85. Let's see where we are. 81. Okay. That'll work. Zeta maneuver to get into orbit. $78, $79, $83. Oh, come on. $80, $84. That looks good. Alright, let's, that will fall back down to Kerbin. Let's activate this engine. Okay, we got a, oops. We got a 2-minute burn when we reach this, and it's going to be, probably should have already started burning. Let's go ahead and get going. Now, the orbit doesn't have to be perfect, because I'll be correcting it as we go higher and higher. So let's just get in orbit for now. I think I'll stay on this side of the vector, because I need to raise the periapsis. Okay, we should have plenty of fuel. Looks like it's just sipping that fuel. That Terrier engine's pretty efficient at using fuel. So we should have plenty. We should have enough to get us into orbit and then push us up to 360 and 560,000 meters. I think I could have done the lower stage burn better. Okay, it looks like we're coming up on about half fuel left. But once we get in orbit, these other changes, altitude changes, shouldn't be to take too much fuel. There'll be something like 10-second burns on each side. So 20 seconds probably overall to raise our altitude. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think that's good. We're at least in orbit. So we got 103 here, 73 periapsis. We're gonna do our next. So we're in orbit. So now our next task, and we have about half of our fuel left, is to get up to 300 and what? 360,000 meters, and then we'll test these solid rocket boosters. So, 360. A little too much. .364. I want to get right on the edge of 360. Right there. So that's a 27-second burn, a little bit more than I expected. But when I get over here to the apoapsis to raise the periapsis, this shouldn't, that shouldn't be much of a burn. Okay, so we got 16 minutes to wait on this one. Let's orient our spacecraft in the proper direction. Nope, this way, this way. So by the time our spacecraft goes on the other side of Kerbin, it will be facing the proper way. Okay, looks funny now. Looks like we're going to be vectoring in going in this direction, but like I said, when we go around the planet, we'll be facing the proper direction. Okay, let's do a little time warp. And you'll see what I mean. Alright. 27-second burn, so we'll start at about 14 seconds. Looks like we need a slight trajectory correction. There we go, and full burn. Get that apoapsis pushed up. And when I get close, I'll throttle down so I don't overshoot. There we go. 360,000. Alright, and then we're going to make our next maneuver here. And again, we make our maneuvers at apoapsis. because they take less fuel to make course corrections when you're going your slowest in orbit, slowest speed, and this is your slowest speed in orbit at apoapsis. So let's push that up to 360. 369, that's a little too much. 361, 358. 360, 363, that's good. Right there, let's push it a little bit more. Okay. Another 20-second burn. What are we doing on fuel? That'll work. 19 minutes till burn time. Let's orient our spacecraft properly. To point at the blue vector. Okay. Sunrise. 10 minutes. Okay, we'll start the burn at about 10 seconds. Let's go to the map. Okay. And they're going to throttle up this time. Instead of going right out with full power. This is delicate. I have to make sure that I hit my altitude between 360 and 370. So, throttle down. There we go. 360, 364, perfect. 360, 364. Now, we should be in position, yes, to test the SRBs. We're in Kerbal orbit at the proper altitude. So all we're going to do is just right-click and run test. Activate engine, basically. There we go. So we completed that test, and now we can decouple these engines. And that one too. There we go. We don't need them. It's a waste of money for the part, but we get plenty for the contract, so we'll be fine. And what's next? We got to get now up to 560,000 meters. So let's do that at apoapsis again. Oops, that's a little high. Oops. 560, is it? 560. $561. I think that's good. Okay. This is going to be a 10-second burn. We should have plenty of fuel. We do. So let's warp to the maneuver. And we have to turn our spacecraft to align properly. bit more, a little bit right about there. Okay, we're ready for the burn. And we still need to fast forward about 10 minutes. Okay, burn starting in about 15 seconds. And again, since it's only 10-second burn, we'll just throttle up slowly. And watch as our apoapsis gets closer and closer to 560,000. Start slowing down a little bit. There we go. 560, 933. Okay, one more burn. Get that one up to 560 as well. It's a little too much. Whoa. Okay, that's 560, 560. Wow. That would be almost a perfectly circular orbit. 567.29, 569.56. This is a 9-second burn in 29 minutes. Fast forward and orient the craft properly for our last burn on this stage. And look at our fuel. Looks like we brought just enough for everything. Now, as long as this last stage has enough fuel to get me back, I'm sure it does. Because the deorbit burn will take about 10 seconds, if that. Okay. There we go. We still got 13 minutes. I'm afraid of going too fast and missing the burn. But if you do, just keep going around another orbit. And try it again. Woo! Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Where are we here? Almost 559? 560? 561. And we're, if we check our contract, we meet all the conditions of the test. So we can ditch this stage here. Okay. So this is what we have left, and we're going to test this rocket. All I have to do is activate it. But we're also going to use it to get back home. So let's run the test. There we go. We have completed both contracts. This one, however, has fuel. So let's do our descent burn. Where do we want to come down? Okay, this is the Space Center, right? We're right over the Space Center. Right here. Where is it? Right here, I believe. Ah, it's cloudy down there right now. So we're right here. There's the Space Center. Right above it. Let's come down in daylight. So let's start our burn right about here. And we'll thrust along the retrograde vector. How much fuel will this take? 2-second burn. Yeah. And where do we want to come down? Right about here, I think. That looks good. We could move the node, the burn node, over a little bit. There we go. And so we're targeted right over here, but typically you come down a little bit behind where it says you will. So probably right in here somewhere. Okay, it's a 4-second burn. Let's quick save. Just in case something weird happens on the re-entry. Alright, 44 minutes, and let's orient our spacecraft correctly. Oops. So we're going to be facing this way during burn. So when this spacecraft goes around the side, we're going to start our burn right about here, which makes sense is why we're facing this way. By the time we get around, the engines will be facing towards where our orbit path, which will slow us down. Alright, let's do a little time warp. You'll see how this works here. Alright, so as you can see, our engines are going to be facing the retrograde vector, and then they're going to slow us down. Alright. Burn in about 20 seconds. Let's watch over here. And start the burn. We're going really slow. It's supposed to be a 4-second burn at full power. Okay. Right about there. That'll get us. Unfortunately, we're going to be coming down probably right about here. That's fine. We'll still be in the daylight. Okay. So I'm predicting probably right in this area. That's where we're going to come down. So we don't need the rest of this. We can eject it. Which we had plenty of fuel. There we go. And we'll face towards the retrograde vector. Are we upside down? Yes, we are. There we go. As you can see, our altitude is decreasing very rapidly. Re-entry in 6 minutes-ish. Okay. It's point retrograde. So our heat shield will have the most, well, we have to keep it pointed retrograde, so our heat shield will be right at the point of where most of the flame will be, most of the heat. Okay, we'll start seeing that here pretty soon. What's wrong with our parish? Oh, we can't deploy yet. Okay. Here comes the re-entry. We're probably going into blackout now. No communication with Space Center. Looking good. And this is that ocean, I believe. Let's see, where are we? Right about here, yep. How you doing there, Jeb? Perfect. Now we just need to slow down to 300 meters per second, deploy chutes, and we're home. Warp down to the splashdown. Okay, gently coming down into the ocean. And where are we? So right there, right in the middle, right where I thought we would be. Oh, actually, no. We're in this other part of the ocean. I was thinking maybe right around here. Nope. We're right here. Where are the aircraft carriers? I don't see anybody. Where are the helicopters? Where's the parade? Oh, that doesn't happen till we get back. Right. Alright, let's recover the vessel and celebrate our 2 contract fulfillment of 2 contracts. Okay, let's see what we got. We got no science, but and we got 1,400 in funds returned from a very expensive machine. However, Jeb got no experience for that. We did get no ribbons either. We did get a ton of money and science from the contracts. Heaviest vessel launched. Most complex vessel launched. Heaviest vessel to orbit Kerbin. And here we go. Completion rewards for this. Lots of cash and science. Same here. Excellent. So now we're up to almost 1.2 million credits, or whatever they are. Kerbals. Let's call them Kerbals. 1.2 million Kerbals. And how much science do we have? 123. So we'll probably be taking heavy rocketry next, and maybe, well, we can get maybe miniaturization. It gives us our first docking ports, and maybe we can get new missions from that. I'm looking for missions that will give us space or rescues of stranded astronauts. Let's see what we got back here at the mission control, because we're running out of contracts here. Temperature surveys. I've looked at a few of these, and they look doable. Not that one. This is space flight below 12,000 meters. There's also, oh, this is near the moon. Okay, these would be interesting. So we can get in orbit above the moon, kind of like at a 45-degree angle. And then as we orbit, we can take some temperature readings. This would be a ton of science. But I do plan on bringing much more science to the moon soon. I'm not too fond of these, where you have to take a tourist and have them go fly above the southern mountains. You don't the rewards just aren't there. So I'm going to take a look at these contracts away from the recording and kind of think about what I want to take. Survey of magnetic field around the sun. Interesting. What is this? Biome, Kerbin's Desert. So I got to basically go and land in Kerbin's Desert, and I mean, it helps Bob level up, but I don't know. I might do it away from the just off of camera, off of recording. So again, I will look at these and kind of decide what I want. I might just fast forward several days and see if new contracts come up instead of doing these same old contracts. And if I don't see anything new, well, then we'll go to the moon again. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and come back and see the next one as we continue our journey to get our space program up and running and get all of the science and go to all of the planets, hopefully. We'll see. Have a good day. See you next time.